I'm delighted to welcome Derek Rodriguez, who's the Vice President of Sales of Connect. And Derek, you are standing on the show floor at Connect 21 at Tampa Convention Center. How are you?
I am doing wonderful, sir. Hello, and hello to your audience.
Thank you. Really, really great to see you. And it must be fantastic to be on the show floor.
It really is. The energy here is great. I apologize if you cannot hear me well. There is music going on. There's education. There's business appointments. There's skateboarders on half pipes. We have everything going on here. It's crazy.
I'm going to ask you a little bit about the show in a minute, but obviously, like a lot of event organizers, it's been a challenge, right? Because you don't know when you can do the show. You don't know what restrictions you have to abide by. Just give the audience a sense of the sort of challenges you faced and how you've managed to overcome them to get where you are today.
Absolutely. It has been an up and down road. We held this event last year in October, and we had 4 host cities, 4 locations. This year, we were with Tampa the whole way. But again, we had so many different regulations, so many different obstacles to overcome, whether it was the pandemic or natural disasters. It has certainly been a whirlwind here.
Tell us all about Connect. Tell us what's happening over the next few days.
Yeah, Connect is an event that brings together hospitality professionals. So we bring together meeting professionals, MICE industry professionals, sports buyers, sports industry professionals, together with destinations, hotels all over the country, really all over the world that want to meet in one-on-one business appointments. So we do that through our one-on-one appointments, our education, our fun trade show with networking. We kind of do it many different ways.
Sure. So you have a great program of content, I understand, as well. So bring that to life. What's the sort of talks that people can actually come and listen to?
Absolutely. So we have everything from keynote speakers like Jerry Rice, Simone Biles, to industry professionals talking about negotiating vendor contracts or utilizing new technology in meetings, safety in meetings. We kind of run the gamut.
Fantastic. And then obviously you have a trade floor as well, where obviously you have exhibition booths. How many exhibition stalls do you have this time around?
Yeah, so we have over 100 exhibition booths, kind of varying from technology to hotels, resorts, CBBs, convention centers, and then some really fun, unique activations, whether it be half pipe, top golf simulator, kind of all over the gamut. We really have it all. It's a real fun, interactive, engaging trade show.
Sure. I just saw somebody on a skateboard, I think. I just saw somebody on a skateboard doing a 180.
Yeah, so we've got a skate ramp here. We have musicians at multiple stages performing music. So the idea is to kind of bring everyone together to really celebrate and have a good time.
And from a attendee perspective, how many attendees do you expect to be there?
Yeah, so we're over 2,000 attendees this year. I think we were pushing about 2,600. Obviously, with the pandemic and some of the natural disasters occurring around the country, the numbers will be a little bit lower, but we won't have a final count until after the show when we count up the badges. But we're certainly over 2,000 and very excited about that.
Excellent. And for the people that can't attend for whatever reason, and that happens every year, regardless of a pandemic, are they able to access the content online?
Yeah, this year. So although we don't have one-on-one business appointments, virtually we do have our education and our content being streamed through our sister company, BizBash, who is kind of managing a lot of that.
Fantastic. And generally, how are you keeping the community engaged digitally? Because obviously you haven't been able to run the show. So I guess you've been keeping them updated throughout. And also after the show, what sort of new things are you doing that you've learned maybe over the last 18 months?
Yeah, certainly. I think we'll use, owned media assets, whether that's email, webinars, different ways to engage clients. But we also are pretty active on social through Facebook and LinkedIn, Instagram. So we really just want to keep as much content going out as possible, kind of ahead, during, and after the show. So that's a real big push for us. I think utilizing video is something that, we continue to see kind of the best viewed, I'd say.
Absolutely. And you mentioned that you've, you said it's the closing keynote from Simone Biles.
Yeah,
so just for people that aren't aware, because I like these programs to be educational, how do you go about getting such a talent to speak at your show? Because obviously everybody would want someone like Simone Biles to speak, especially directly after the Olympics.
For sure. So it's obviously for us, we want to try to find a way to engage kind of culture, and we want to work with our clients and kind of understand who do they want to see, who do they want to hear. Obviously, Simone Biles is a really hot name right now, obviously coming off the Olympics and kind of her story. We thought it would be a great person to have as a closing keynote. As far as our staff is concerned, typically our president will brainstorm with everybody, and we'll kind of talk through all the options. I think Simone Biles was his pick, and everyone was certainly on board, and all the attendees are really excited about it.
Excellent. And Derek, just closing up, I know you've been working on Connect as a show for many years, right? I've seen on your profile. So you've seen the show obviously change and develop. And just tell us about that, sort of how it's changed and what you see as the future for the show as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been here for 12 years. So I was here for the first Connect Marketplace when we were a couple hundred people in Las Vegas. I think the biggest thing that I've noticed is we have much larger buy-in from our both buyers and suppliers as a whole. So throughout the years, we've added various vertical market segments to the event. So starting with association and specialty buyers, adding in sports, adding in corporate, adding in citywide, expo trade shows. And then on the client side, growing from convention and visitor bureaus to convention centers, hotel brands, and now AV, and really anybody who wants to touch the meetings and convention market are really our customers. So we've really seen it grow and become kind of a bigger in the industry, I'd say.
Sure. And finally, what's next for Connect? Because I know you take it around the country, right? So just give us a sense of what's next.
So what's next for the year? So we have an event coming up, an incentive and luxury event in Cabo in September. We have a handful of events to finish off the year, kind of scattered. We have a big program in Texas, in Round Rock, a big program in Washington, D.C. in December, and then a few smaller events, one in the Pacific Northwest, and a few others. So we'll make sure to have our save the date out and about in the industry, circulating to everybody. Excellent.
And everyone can find all the information on the website. So listen, thank you so much, Derek, for chatting to us today. And we wish you the very best of luck with the rest of the show.
Hey, thank you. And wish you were here. We'll see you next time.
Thank you. I am delighted to welcome Yvette Campbell and Sarah Buchbinder from Meetings Made Easy. Good afternoon.
Hey, how you doing?
So, ladies, we are at Connects 2021, or you are, I'm not, at Tampa Convention Center. How exciting is it to be back at the show? And maybe I'll start with you, Yvette.
Well, it's amazing to be back and to see so many people here, first of all. And, we've had our first round of appointments this morning. So people internationally are here as well.
Oh, excellent.
Which is great for us because we do a lot of international business.
Sure.
We each are brokers and we have our own groups that we take care of. So it's been amazing to be back and see so many people interacting with each other face to face.
And Sarah, just can you tell the viewers a little bit about the business, please?
Yeah, so Meetings Made Easy is a group of former meeting planners and former hotel salespeople who got together to basically help other meeting planners, help anyone having to book meeting space, convention space, events. We're just a resource for our clients. So it's really great to come to something like this because we can meet with so many different types of vendors and partners between, AV, hotels, conference centers, educational sessions, entertainment activities, activations, anything, so that we can kind of build this resource space for our clients and for our partners.
Yvette, just talking about the business, obviously, the last 18 months have been incredibly difficult. I'm sure that's an understatement. How has the business adapted during that period? And what are you now talking to people about at the event that maybe you didn't offer before?
Well, we're definitely talking about different things on contracts. I mean, that's the most important part now. I mean, we've seen what we've gone through the pandemic. So we're talking to people about, labor situations at hotels because we know there are problems with getting people back to work. So we want to bring our business, but we also want to make sure we're getting taken care of. So we look at clauses in our contracts. That's one really important part that we are doing. We're also looking at the facilities we're going to, the safety, how they're taking care of their clients. These are the things that we do on our site tours, and we have done that before in the past, but we're doing it a little more intricate, more in detail.
Sure.
So, yeah.
And Sarah, obviously, as a business and organization, you've attended Connect, I believe, many times. Why is it such an important event in the industry calendar?
So, especially after the year or a year and a half that we've had, when there was so much up in the air, we were so unsure about which way our meeting's going to go. What does that new normal really mean? I think it's so important for us as meeting brokers to attend something as an attendee and to see what it's like from the point of view of an attendee, to see, what's working, what's not working, what are some great ideas that we can bring to our clients, what are other people doing. Like Yvette said, one of the most important things that we do is make sure that our clients are protected in their contracts. And we've been doing a lot of updating our clauses and kind of shifting meetings to make sure that they can meet safely. And so for us, it's a great way to see how are people actually meeting safely. And this morning we had our first round of appointments, as Yvette said. I've got 47 appointments, so I've got a full schedule. 47, and I think that 40 of them at least were ones that I requested that I wanted specifically to meet with, and then the other 7 are people that maybe I wouldn't have thought to meet with, but in the past I've had kind of random selections added, and they've turned out to be hotels that I never really knew of, that I ended up making contracts with, or partnerships that I was able to build and bring back to my clients as a resource. So it's so great to be able to have this face to face, even with a mask. It's great to see, the bottom half of people, which you can't do right now because you're on Zoom. But, there are people that I actually met face to face today at this Connect that I've been working with for 3 years that I've never met face to face. And it makes such a difference to kind of have that connection.
Sure.
I also brought some of my clients here because it's really important for me that they get the opportunity to see things and get ideas for their conferences and be inspired, and also make all these connections for themselves. So it's it's a lot packed into a very short amount of time, that it's super valuable, not just for us, but for our clients.
I guess also it's good for new business to generate new inquiries, people that you've never met.
So definitely. And I mean, it's not only in the meeting time that we are meeting new people. There's also booths here where we can step up to, let's say we want to go to Florida, but we haven't seen everyone that we wanted to meet with in Florida. We can step up to their booth and meet a slew of people from Miami to, wherever in Florida. If you want to go Fort Lauderdale, whatever, Tampa. Tampa.
There's a couple of people here from Tampa, and the booths and the dinners and the breakfasts and the happy hours and all the different activities that they have set up for us. And everyone wants, everyone can go based on their own comfort level. And I think that's so important. The one-on-one appointments, we get to kind of request who we'd like to meet with. And Connect is really great at making sure you can meet with as many as you can. And then if you can't meet with someone that you wanted to during your booth time, there's plenty of time in between where there are educational sessions, just time to kind of wander around and make sure that you make all those connections that you wanted to.
Or even just getting on the bus, you get to sit next to people you wouldn't expect to meet. Last night I sat next to a young magician.
Would you say then, like, events are back? Do you think it's pretty similar to previous years?
I don't think things will ever be exactly the same as they were in previous years, but I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing.
Sure.
We've all gained new talents and skills and experiences throughout the pandemic that we now are coming out of it with more tools in our toolbox than we had before. And I think that, meetings in person will never go away. We never get to see each other necessarily in person. She's in Detroit, I'm in New Jersey, and this gives us the opportunity to get together and to have that one-to-one time. And it's invaluable. Our clients are saying, they're eager to go back. They're eager to go back safely, and this is giving them a chance to see how it could work and to see what opportunities there are out there. So it's not exactly the same as it used to be, but I think that's the point of meetings. Meetings aren't the same as they used to be, 6 months ago, a year ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. So it's just another step in the evolution.
Delighted to welcome Brent Forrester, Senior Vice President, Destination Sales of Meet Minneapolis, and he is on the show floor at Connect 21 at Tampa Convention Center. Hello, how are you today?
I am doing wonderful. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for joining us. So, Brent, it would be great if you could introduce your business to all the viewers, please.
I sure will. So we are Meet Minneapolis and Sports Minneapolis. So we represent the city, the destination of Minneapolis and the surrounding areas as it relates to conventions, meetings, sporting events. We are also the sales and marketing entity for the Minneapolis Convention Center, but certainly that also includes our hotels, other venues like Target Stadium, US Bank Stadium, Target Arena, Target Center as we refer to it. So, I mean, that's really our key focus. We also do some of the leisure tourism promotion for the city as well. But we're largely here for the group market, as you're aware and your viewers are aware.
Sure.
So that's what Connect represents.
How exciting is it to be back at a show, meeting people in person?
Yeah, it's great to be back at events. We've actually, now in Minneapolis, we've done actually a couple of citywide events so far. We have a couple more coming up. We still, from time to time, will have a group decide to go with a virtual meeting versus a live event. But for the vast majority of what we have going on in Minneapolis right now, it is either a live event or it is a hybrid event, which is really, really encouraging to see. It's exciting to be here with everything that's going on, meeting with people live. This is not the first live convention I've been to in the last 2-3 months. I will tell you, people are overjoyed to see each other again. They missed the other side, the interaction. Yes, you've created these relationships over all these years that we've worked together, but Zoom calls, etc., was really missing an element, and that's what the live meeting, the live events brings. It kind of rounds it out. So
absolutely. And talking about Connect specifically, because I'm aware that you have been to the event many times.
Correct.
What makes the event so important to you for this community?
Well, first of all, it's just a really efficient use of time. You heard earlier that there's so much going on here, but it also allows you to be doing multiple different appointments. I actually have myself and currently 4 other staff members and soon to be a 5th coming in tonight. So we're doing all 4 tracks, the sports, the specialty, the corporate, and the association. And it's really almost going on simultaneously. So to be able to get those appointments one-on-one with a customer, 4 different markets taking place at the same time, allowing us to have a trade show booth for maybe that passive customer that just wants to learn a little bit about the city, or a spark of interest or something that they want to ask us some questions, and it's not worth doing an appointment. That's all taking place all at one time. So for us, it's we go to other industry events. They tend to be focused on maybe association, focused on corporate, focused on sports. This is an event we can come to and touch all those markets all in 2 days.
The type of people that you're meeting and the quality of the audience, would you agree that it's the right type of people for you when you're trying to do business?
Most of them are looking to place meetings now, but for the future. So it's a good timing for us. It also, they represent meetings and events that use all different facilities in all different shapes and sizes of hotels, etc. So as a Convention and Visitors Bureau, we represent a large gamut of venues, hotels, meeting facilities. So the fact that the meeting planners that are here can put meetings in all those different facilities, whether it be large, small, sports, corporate, traditional, is very, very valuable to us. So
listen, Brent Forrester of Meet Minneapolis, thank you so much for your time. Delighted to be joined by Scott Frankel, who is president of Animatic Media, a premier AV agency. Good afternoon, Scott.
Good afternoon. Pleasure to be here.
So, Scott, we are at Connect 2021 at the Tampa Convention Center. I know you've been to the show many times before. How exciting is it to be back?
It's great to be back. I have to tell you, I was drooling at the premise of coming here, the promise of coming here. And now that I'm here and I see people showed up for it, just really stoked to be back.
Marvelous. And I know that you are speaking at the event. Is that right?
I am. I'll be doing 2 educational sessions tomorrow, one of which was kind of customized for the times, talking a little bit about audiovisual hygiene.
Sure. And so tell me a bit about Animatic, please, Animatic Media.
Sure. So we are a full service event production company handling all things technology, audio, visual. We offer creative services. We've been around for about 25 years, and we spun off to a fully virtual event platform called Conference on Demand Plus Live last year.
Okay.
And that really got us through the really difficult times to the point that we are at now, where we're doing all virtual, hybrid, and in person again.
What are the benefits, would you say, of coming to the event and the types of people that you meet?
So the benefits of coming to this event, this is one of my favorite events because the planners are here pre-COVID, COVID, whatever you want to say. They're here to do business. They're here to learn. They have real programs they're interested about. So between the education and the one-on-one appointments, these planners that come to these events that I want to meet with, they're really looking to make connections and do business.
Sure. And when you say planners, can you bring to life the types of people that you're meeting and the types of businesses that they're from?
So I'm meeting with all sorts of corporate event planners, independent planners, gala planners, association, all of the meeting and event planners that are doing conferences and fundraising events, those type of meetings, sales meetings, and so on.
Sure. And your session that you're doing at the event, which I guess you said is also about virtual and hybrid and the use of, how you've pivoted your business. What are the key takeaways that people can expect when they come to the session?
Key takeaways is just that they understand, especially on the AV hygiene portion of my session, is that we're all learning. Nobody's
Sure.
an expert in this field. And we're all exchanging ideas and talking to each other to come up with best practices for how to keep people safe, how to make people realize a sense of awareness that conference management and show management is doing what they can to keep them safe. And just to find our way back to full in-person meetings, it's just hopefully moves completely away.
Sure. And trade shows in general and events for this sort of community, I guess, you can't replicate those online, right? When you get those networking moments and the chance meetings of people.
Yeah, there's nothing like it. I mean, we even incorporated a trade show portion of our platform, but there is no substitution for in-person meetings, a real handshake, a hello, a let's talk. You get the casual conversation that I think goes a long way into building long-term relationships.
If someone was watching this and they were considering attending the event, either as attendee or as a supplier, what would you say to them?
I would say, don't miss it. Make this a top priority to come to the Connect Marketplace event. It's, for me, for the last 5 years, I wouldn't dream of missing it. And I think if you really are in the events business and you want good education and to meet people and network, this is the place to do it.
Perfect. Listen, Scott Frankel, president of Animatic Media, we wish you the best of luck with your business and also with the session you have on at the event. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you very much.
Matt Johnson, who is president of BizBash. Good afternoon, Matt.
What's up, Dan? It is so good to see you.
How exciting is it to be on the show floor?
And I tried to come so much earlier, as early as they would let me come. I'm going to stay as long as they'll let me stay in the building. I'm so pumped to be here. This is actually for us, our third event through the pandemic, our second hybrid event.
Yeah.
And this one's just a monster, right? The last time we talked, we had a smaller event in a hotel. This is our trade show, buddy. We're having a blast, So we're in day 2. I think it's going exceptionally well.
Just for those that aren't aware, because obviously we're at Connect and it's BizBash at Connect, explain the relationship, how that works, what people are going to see with regards to BizBash.
Yes, absolutely. So listen, Connect historically focuses on site selection needs for meeting and event planners. So destination and venue, where's the meeting going to take place? After you find that space and that home for your event, then the magic happens. And that's what BizBash is all about. It's all focused on the event experience. So through the past 3 co-locations, what we've been trying to do is say we have this captive audience, we have these hosted buyers. How can we continue to enrich their lives? right? Once you have found a home for your event, then you need event technology to power it. You need food and beverage experts, right? You need event rentals, decor, entertainment, anything and everything that comes to make the magic happen and to create that wow factor. That's what BizBash is, and that's who we've brought into this event.
Excellent. And I want to know what's going on behind you. It's a fantastic installation. To tell us all about it.
So we have 4 education theaters, but the one that stands out on purpose is the BizBash stage. And I'm standing on a riser right now. It's kind of a behind the scenes look.
Sure.
What we're doing here is we have almost 3,000 people tuning in for the education part of our program. So what we learned in Vegas is you can't just stream from the back of the room. We've got a great event technology partner, and we spent a little bit more money this year on the production value because we wanted those at home who are tuning in to feel like they are sitting in the second row. So we have all these different camera shots. It looks like a full-on TV production. So I can't wait to actually tune in tonight and see coverage from today.
So you've got 3,000 people tuning in. So obviously it's a hybrid element of the event, which is fantastic. Give us a sense of where they're tuning in from. How wide is your reach?
I'm so glad you asked that question. BizBash historically had a physical presence in New York and LA, and we're really kind of hyper-focused on that local community. But when we acquired the business, we thought, you know what, we're going to take this to the next level. We really want to focus on a national reach. And then when the pandemic hit, suddenly we had a global reach. So we actually have folks from Singapore, we have folks from the UK, and then we have folks from right down the road, right? We're trying to meet people where they're at from a comfort level. Not everybody, whether it's a corporate travel freeze or they're not ready to come back into an event with 2,000 plus people. We still want to keep them engaged. We still want to move the industry forward. So we've made it really easy for them to tune in. What's exciting for me is to see that we created something that is on demand anywhere, anytime. So kind of that Netflix model. You don't necessarily have to tune in right now. You can tune in next week, right? And watch it when you're on the treadmill, whenever you need to, when it makes sense for you. That's the next iteration of events.
So what's next for BizBash? What's happening with the business? What other exciting things are you guys doing? Because you're always really innovative, like the stage behind you. What else is coming up?
Well, I tell you what, I honestly don't know what 2020 looks like yet, but we got to still plan, and we're trying to disrupt, right? We're pushing ourselves to say, let's embrace this pandemic and let's leverage it to push us forward and do things that actually make us kind of nervous. But we know if we put our neck out there, we can inspire other people and they can learn from what we're doing. So we're actually going to take our shows and we're going to flip the script, as they say. We're going to have a unique experience. We're going to announce this actually in October.
Okay.
So we're planning, but we're interviewing past attendees and we're saying, what do you like? What do you hate? We can't go back to 2019. So what is going to get you back to live?
Sure.
Right? So that's what we're doing. I can't wait to see what we dream up.
Matt, president of BizBash, it's absolute pleasure to talk to you as always.